Hello, everybody, and welcome. I appreciate your patience as we were waiting for everyone to filter in. My name is Kate Clem, and I am the Outreach Coordinator for the University of Michigan's Nam Center for Korean Studies. I'd like to welcome you to our first ever virtual Chuseok Day Party 2020. Today is the third out of 6 synchronous events hosted to celebrate Korean culture from the comfort of your own home. So I hope everyone's ready to learn some Taekwondo. At any time during the workshop, please feel free to submit any questions or comments into your Q&A feature located on your Zoom webinar toolbar. This includes if you need the instructors to repeat any movements, give more explanation, etc. If your question is easier spoken over your microphone, please use the raise hand function and we can give you temporary access to speak live to the instructors. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be posted on our virtual Chuseok website later. We'd also like to mention that since this is a physically active event, please follow along at your own pace. Make sure your area is free of furniture and drink water as needed. Now, I'd like to open the floor to your lead instructor for today from the University of Michigan Taekwondo Club, Eddy Lee.
Hello, my name is Eddy Lee. I am a third-degree black belt. I've been doing Taekwondo for 12 years, and yeah, I'm part of the University of Michigan Taekwondo Club. We are a Taekwondo martial art club. We are the only martial art club on campus, and anybody is welcome to join. No prior experience needed. And yeah, if you guys sound interested, welcome to join. And I'm also leading the demo team. So the demo team is that we are a small group of people that go around campus, either do like workshops like this one or like around campus at events like Chuseok in previous years or like KSA Culture Show, and we perform Taekwondo, either like modern or like more traditional. So let's first start off. Oh, and also my other panelists, we have Alicia Wang here and Heon. Yep, they'll be answering any questions you guys have or just giving some insight, like more detail. Quick, something that I should mention, my camera right now is actually mirrored to make it easier for this workshop. So just letting you know that mine is mirrored. So this is currently my right hand, but for you guys, it should be like left. So just keep that in mind. It makes a lot of things easier. But the other panelists, their camera is not mirrored. So let's first get on to stretching. So hopefully you guys have an open space to stretch. Okay. First, actually, let me just put this up here. So first thing we're gonna do is hands together, and then we're gonna rotate our wrists. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟. So in case you guys are wondering what I just said, that's actually counting in Korean. So hana means 1, 2 means 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to be counting in Korean because that's how normally we do this. Is there a question? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So now again, but the other direction. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟. Now stretch your hands out. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟. Up to the skies, all the way. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟. Now slowly come down and then go down all the way. Try to touch the ground if you can, but if you can't, it's fine. But yep. And then Make sure your legs are straight. So 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Get back up. Now we're going to be doing lunges. So try. Okay. So try to have your heel touch the ground best you can, and then have your other leg straight. Just there you go. Yep. So and try to keep yourself balanced. So 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Now do the other leg. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay. Now let's get on the ground. Now feet together, legs straight. Do your best, but hands together and touch your toes. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Now have your one of your legs. Currently I have my right leg over your other leg, and then your elbow on your leg, and just twist your back. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Switch. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Now, feet together, and then bring your feet towards you, and we're going to do a butterfly. You don't have to do it exactly like this, but try to keep your legs on the ground. Now slowly bring your chest down to the floor. Try to keep your legs on the ground still. And then, there you go. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay, and then stand up, and then the most painful one for today, we're gonna be doing splits. I'll try to do my best, but simple enough. Try to keep your legs straight. Go down as far as you can to your best of your abilities, and hold it there. So 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay. And then just shake around a little. Shake around to just loosen yourself up. Just get stretched. Okay. People feel stretched? Hopefully they do. Hopefully you guys didn't stretch too much. Could have been dangerous. Yeah. So that was stretching. Everybody should be stretched now. So now we're going to be teaching very basics of Taekwondo. So the first thing we're going to be learning today is chariot. So when I say chariot, you're going to have your arms apart and then just to your sides. Okay? So just do whatever you want. Just, talk to your friend, and then chariot. When I say chariot, right away, you should just have your arms to your side. So again, just do whatever you're doing before, and then chariot! And you should be arms to your side, and then feet together. Yeah.
Also worth noting, if I could interrupt really quick, that chariot, the fists are also closed.
Oh yeah, fist. Right. Forgot about that. Yep. cheuk, and then there's something called 경례. 경례 means basically bow. So 경례 and then bow. 2, 7. Yep. So make sure you're 90 degrees. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold it 5, 6, 7, 8. Does anybody have questions so far? Okay. Then no questions, I'll continue on. So another basic thing that we should teach is how to hold a fist. So just look at my hands. This is my right hand right now. So what you're going to do is that have your hands spread and then just have them together. Now just curl them. And then it should be like right here, curl. Now your thumb should go over your fingers, okay? So it should be like this. So again, fingers together, your other 4 fingers together, curl them, and then thumb over your fist, or your other fingers. Yep. So that is how you hold a fist. So again, 차렷. So again, fist to side, back straight. Now we're going to do something called a horse riding stance. So what a horse riding stance is, first you're going to have your hands over each other. Your feet are still together. Your feet's together still. And then you're going to slowly bring your arms or your hands to your side, like here. But as you do that, have your legs apart. Should be like around, it's like 2.5 feet, I believe. So just like have your own, kind of measure like the distance with your own feet. So again, 차렷, horse riding stance, 준비. And that's how you do a horse riding stance. Oh, and also feet should be pointing directly front. They should be parallel to each other and pointing front. And make sure you bend your knees a bit. Okay? Almost like you're just squatting. So now we're going to punch. So I'm going to count 하나, and that's when you punch. Okay? So 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. So how we punch in Taekwondo, I've got to mention this. So if you look at from the side view, so again, our fist to our sides. Oh yeah, our fingers should be pointing up. It shouldn't be like this. It should be like this. The thumb finger should be pointing up. Like this. And then from here, just as you bring your fist forward, you should be twisting your hand like this. So this. So let's do it one more time since we now know. So horse riding stance again. Back straight. Knees bent. Feet pointing forward. Now left hand starting. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. I think also a quick thing that I kind of want to bring up is that I know like some people when they punch it kind of like swing like this. In Taekwondo, we just want like kind of just straight motion like this, straight. We don't want to bring it over, we want to just straight, okay? And then it's important at the last second before contact, you put in all your energy. Don't bring your energy from the beginning, it's just like this, like. Okay. Does anybody have questions about the punch or anything about like the horse riding stance?
Just a note from me, I suppose. If you're wondering, like when you punch, like what the other arm is doing, it's sort of like getting almost like in a position to get ready to be in the next punch. So it's just sort of like resting on your side if you're wondering like why
Hmm.
it's sitting there. But that's just like in a typical Taekwondo punch, when you like throw out a punch, your other arm just sort of sits at around like waist level and that like finger up position Eddie was talking about.
Yeah, thanks for including that. Okay, I think we can move on to the next one. So let's go Chariot horse riding stance. Now we learned how to punch. Now it's very important that we learn also how to block too. So what we're going to learn right now is how to do a lower block. So again, horse riding stance. Remember, make sure, like if your hand is not doing anything, make sure it's always next to your hip. Like Alicia said, like it should be kind of getting ready for the other next punch or whatever we want to do next. So just keep it ready on your side. So here we're going to be learning how to do a lower block. So how to do a lower block is that you have your arm that you're going to block with over your other shoulder. So this is my left arm, for example, my left hand. It should be over my right shoulder. My right hand, right here, should be just down, straight, okay? Right here. And then as we bring our left hand like down, our right hand should be also going back to the hip, to our original position. So if you see here, we should be slowly bringing it down. So from here, 1. So in full motion would be like 1. Okay? So step by step. So 1, 2, 3. And then if we want to do the other hand, we bring our right hand over our left shoulder and then down, 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 down. Does everybody get it? I don't see any questions, so we'll just continue. So horse riding stance again. So we'll be doing 10 of these. So left hand starting. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay. Oh, I think also an important thing to mention about the lower block is that make sure it's like straight. Your arms are straight down. Because what the lower block essentially is doing is like kind of like blocking like a kick, a lower kick here. That's what our arm is doing. Like from here, don't like have your lower block like all the way here or somewhere. Make sure it's like straight in the front. You want to block a kick, okay? And make sure, as I said, don't bend your arm. Make sure it's like, I want to say like completely straight because that could actually be really harmful, but like kind of straight, but like also a little bent. Yep. That's it. Straight down here. I said don't go over or this way. Just make sure it's down right here forward. Does anybody have any questions regarding the lower block? Any more? Okay. Then we'll do lower block 10 more times, and then we'll move on to the next block. So again, horse riding stance, lower block 10 more times. Left hand starting. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay. Now, what we're going to be learning is how to do a mid block. So whatever hand we're blocking, kind of bring it like around like where your ear is, and like kind of behind your head or behind your ear, like here. Have your non-blocking hand out, okay? Out like kind of like we're doing a punch, okay? So here. So this is the outer middle block. So like I said, non-using hand straight ahead. Your blocking hand should be behind your ear, and then one. So make sure this isn't like all the way here in like your face. Make sure it's kind of like around like where your chest would be, and make sure it's like there's some distance between your arm and also your chest. Okay, so like kind of like here, like there should be some kind of distance right here. And also this, we want like our arm to be bent. So make sure to bend your arm. We don't want it like straight like this. This is not going to block anything. So kind of like bend your arm. We want to like, this is usually used to like block any punches. So if there's a punch coming in, we want to block that by using a middle block. So again, so we'll start from beginning steps. So horse riding stance, and step 1, hand out, blocking hand behind, then 2. And always make sure to bring your non-using hand to your hip, okay? And then if we want to do our other hand, block with our other hand, we would twist our blocking hand forward and bring our using the hand that we're going to be blocking behind our ear, and then block. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do 10 middle blocks. So starting from horse riding stance, starting with our left hand. Hand up. Do it. Set. Net. 다섯. 여섯. 일곱. 여덟. 아홉. 열. Okay. Do we have any questions regarding the middle block? Or you can also ask like a previous question like what we did before if anybody has questions. Okay. Okay, I guess we have no questions, then we'll move on to, we're gonna move on to high block. So high block, kind of like what it sounds, it's meant to block just anywhere high, so like your face or anywhere. So horse riding stance again. So here, our blocking hand is actually gonna go to our other side of our hip here. And then your non-blocking arm is gonna be here, kind of like, just like kind of next to each other here, diagonal. And then your blocking arm should go outside here. So if you notice, it's going outside and then up. Okay. Let me just move back more so you can see. So here we're gonna be twisting here your other arm to your other hip, and then slow, bring it out, and then here. It should be around like where your forehead is, and the distance between your arm and your forehead should be like about like a fist distance here. So that's how far away your arm should be from your forehead. So again, horse riding stance, starting from horse riding stance. 1, 2. And then if we want to do our other hand, just bring the blocking hand down, and then our non-using hand over to the other hip, and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does everybody get how to do a high block? I see no questions. Panelists, is there anything that I forgot by any chance? Okay. So let's do 10 high blocks, starting with our left hand. Again, make sure you bend your legs for horse riding stance, feet pointing directly forward. Okay?
Oh, we have a question from Teddy. So give me 1 second. Okay.
Yep. Hello, Teddy.
Teddy, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yep. Your mic is muted.
It should be open now.
Teddy wants to say thank you, and he wants to know how long has Sensei Nim been studying?
Wait, what was the question? I didn't hear that.
Oh, Teddy wants to say thank you so much, and he wants to know how long have you been studying?
Oh, studying Taekwondo? I've been doing Taekwondo for about 12 years, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, if we have no other questions, let's start with our 10 high blocks. So horse riding stance, hands to your hips, left hand starting. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay, and then now let's 차렷. 경례. There you go. Yep, and those are the basic Taekwondo hand techniques. Does everybody like understand? Do we want to like kind of do like a little review, or I mean, I guess we can do a little review starting with, yeah. Okay, we'll do a little review actually. So go into 차렷. We'll start from the beginning. 차렷, 경례, and then horse riding stance 준비. And then we'll do, I'll count up to 6. So do 2 lower blocks, 2 middle blocks, and 2 upper blocks. Okay? So I'll count to 6. So 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 2, 2. Everybody got it? I'll do it slowly for everybody to be able to do it. So starting with our left hand. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯. Did everybody get that, or should I go a little slower? I can go slower if I want, if I need to. You guys can type in the Q&A chat. Oh, someone raise their hand. Okay, yep, I can go a little slower. So Isaac, do you have a question? Okay. Yeah. I can just continue. Yeah. I'll just continue on. So again, horse riding stance, knees bent, hands to the side of our hips. So again, 2 each. Okay, and I'll count up to 6. So 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯. And again, let's do from the beginning. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯. Okay. Chuseok, 네. Did everybody get that, or do I see a question? What is a kick block? So these aren't any kick blocks necessary. So, for example, this is a lower block. This main purpose is normally to like block like kicks normally, but it is not called a kick block. It can also block other stuff in case like it could technically block punches aiming like on the lower area and such. So there's no kick block, but there's this that normally blocks kicks, which is called a lower block.
Also, just to answer, I saw another question here that was just how do you transition from one block to another? Basically it does take a little bit of practice, obviously, but basically how at least I like to think about it is, let's say we have that low block as we were talking about, the block that Eddie was just talking about. If you wanted to go from here into the middle block, well, we went over that for the middle block, we load it like up here. If I want to block with this arm, you load this arm up here. So you just have to think about, okay, I'm blocking with this arm. This opposite arm that's resting is going to be the next one to block. So how do I put this arm where it needs to be in order to get into that blocking position? And then from here, we have like this middle block. I'm just doing sort of all angles so we can all see. How do I want to turn this into sort of that high block earlier? Well, I know that for the high block, if I know that this arm is going to be blocking, and that in order for this arm to block, it needs to be on sort of like the bottom here in order to like go all the way up. If this is where it is originally from this middle block, what I like to think is that you bring this arm over and you bring this arm in to sort of bring it up for that high block. So it's just a matter of remembering how each block ends and how each block is loaded. And then you have to like sort of like think in your head, how do I get each arm to where it needs to be so it can properly go to the next place, which just comes with like repetition and practice, which we do a lot in the club. But for basic and fundamentals, we're just teaching you like sort of like the basics here.
Yeah.
Hey, Eddie, if you wanted to review real quick and kind of just go through all the names of the different blocks again.
Yeah, okay, I can go through each block. So, we got a horse riding stance. So this is a lower block. So arms over shoulder, hands out here, block, lower block, then middle block, behind your ear, arms forward, block, and then high block. Arms, just move back more. Arms like around your forehead. Make sure it's like a bit of a about like a fist width distance between your head and your arm. You don't want it to be like right here because it's not blocking anything. It's still gonna hurt your head. So make sure it's like about like a fist distance between. So high block. Yep. Do we have any other questions about the blocks? If not, we can actually move on to kicks. Taekwondo kicks. Ooh, I see a question. How was Taekwondo invented? That's shoot. Shoot.
I can
Yeah.
answer that. So Taekwondo originally comes from another more ancient Korean martial art called Taegeuk. It formed in one of the ancient dynasties of Korea. Modern Taekwondo was, I mean, it depends on who you ask, but modern Taekwondo can be said to have been developed by someone named General Choi in around like the 1940s, as a combination of the ancient Taegeuk and more modern techniques to make what we have Taekwondo as we call it today. Does that answer your question? I hope it does.
Didn't it like Taekwondo start becoming prominent after like Korea gained independence? I believe that's when it started, like real modern Taekwondo started, right?
Yeah, that's the context.
Okay. we don't have any more questions, we'll move on to kicks. Okay, so we'll move on to kicks. So I'm going to be facing this way, my left side. So it's a little harder, so that's why I'm not going to be showing like a front view, but it's much easier if it's like a side view here. So in this case, what we will do is like charia and then 준비, and we'll be like in this stance. So it should be approximately like 2 feet distance, I believe, or was it 1.5? But from here, easy way to measure it, it's like feet together, 1, 2, and then have your feet 90 degrees. I recommend just kind of having also your heel off the ground because this just makes it a lot easier to do just kicks. So, yep. Wait, let me just lower the camera so you can see my feet better. Okay, yep. So, yep. So heels off the ground, and then kind of have your body like not necessarily like front. You don't want your body like completely facing forward, but kind of like a 45, like 30 degrees ish, like face diagonally. Make sure your front foot though is facing forward though, straight, and your other foot, like I said, 90 degrees. So, and then we want our hands kind of just being like a fine stance right here. So just kind of just bend your arm and then have your other arm here. So we're going to be learning how to do a front kick. Okay. So front kick, what we do is that we're in our stance. We bring our leg up, like bend our knees up. And we kick, so leg straight, and then bring it back in, and then back to the ground. Okay. So from the beginning, 1, 2, straight, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is how it looks like in full motion. So that would be how it looks like. Make sure, an important thing too, when you bring your leg up, make sure your body is now like facing completely forward. Okay? Before we had our body kind of like diagonal. Now when we bring our leg up, we want it to be facing straight. Our body to face straight. So here, we're in our tight stance, and then bring our leg up, front kick. So that's how you do a front kick. Oh, and make sure you kick with your back leg. I forgot to mention that. So that's why have your left leg in front, right, and then your right leg back. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So left leg front, right leg back, and then we're going to be kicking with our right leg. So knee up, kick, straight, or knee bent, and then back. Okay? So we'll be doing 10 of these kicks with our right leg. So, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And then we're gonna switch legs. So how we switch leg is just like we kind of do like a little hop, and then we just like bring our right leg forward and our left leg back. So kind of just this. We don't want to do this, because that's like too much time. So just do a quick hop. Okay. Now I'm going to be facing this way so you guys have a better view. Hopefully I don't kick the wall. And let me just tilt this right here. There we go. So again, now we're going to be kicking with our left leg. So left leg should be behind. Our right leg should be pointing straight. Our feet, our heels off the ground. And then again, bend, straight, bend, back. So 10 of these again. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay. That is how you do a front kick. Does anybody have any questions regarding how to do a front kick? See a question. Okay. There's no other questions. Let's move on to the next kick. So this is called a roundhouse kick. So again, we had our right leg facing front, left leg facing or left leg back. Now we're gonna again switch. Make sure you do like that mini hop. Okay. Now here. So instead of having our knee bent and body facing forward, what we're gonna now have is that we're gonna have our leg kind of like bent like this. It's not gonna be straight anymore. We're kind of like this coming from the side. So this. So one. Make sure to kind of twist your leg for this, okay?
You can also take a look at my video for like the frontal view of it, because it might be a little hard to see from the side profile.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
like when you bring your leg up like that, basically this is how it looked from the front, where the front kick was more vertical. Like you can see your legs kind of vertical. For the roundhouse kick, when you bring up your leg to like get ready for the kick, it's sort of on this more of a diagonal, as you can see, and it's not like vertical with your body straight forward. Your whole body's a little bit more slanted, and your legs more like tilted as well.
Yep, that's correct. Yep. So yep, just kind of diagonal and a degree. So we're gonna bend, and then here just again just leg straight, and then bring it back, and then bring your leg back behind your left leg. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna be doing 10 of these. So again, in our stance, huh, set, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay. So that is how we do a roundhouse kick. I like to mention, when you first start Taekwondo, like if you see some of the instructors, they might like kick really high, like up to the face. Don't worry about trying to like kick the face or anything like that. Since this is just starting, I recommend, this also really depends on your flexibility too. So I recommend just don't overexert yourself where you just like kick and then like you just like fall on the ground. Just kind of do where it's like a little challenging, but not where the point where like, you risk yourself like hurting yourself. Okay. So I recommend just starting like about like waist or like just like stomach height. Okay. And then you can just gradually bring it over like higher, like to your chest, and hopefully eventually your head. Okay. So just don't have pressure. Don't worry about kicking high. This isn't about like who can kick the highest. It's really just more about we really want to focus on the form itself. So just no pressure. Just you can just kick low if you want. You can just even kick like around like that leg area if that's what makes you feel comfortable. It's really focused on the form. Is there anything that we need to like talk more about? Or I think that's basically it for roundhouse kick. Panelists, do you think there's anything to add? Okay. Then we'll move on. So now let's go on to, we did our right leg. Now let's move on to our left leg kicking. Okay. So make sure you switch. I'm gonna be just facing this way because just make it easier for you guys to see. So again, heels off the ground, jumping. It's like a little hop, a little, and then head up. Do it. Set. Net. 다섯. 여섯. 일곱. 여덟. 아홉. 열. Oh, also a quick thing too. Don't have your front foot like straight completely during this kick. It's a lot harder when your like front foot is like completely straight. So kind of just twist a little here. I mean, however way you want, like 45, 30. So like when you kind of bring up your leg, kind of just also twist your front leg too. Just make it easier to kick. And then, yeah. But make sure your front foot is also facing back to the original position, straight forward. Do you have any questions regarding kicks? If not, we can do like a quick review session of the kicks, and then we'll move on to Is Jang, which is the first Taekwondo Form. Yeah. Okay. Then, okay, since we have 10 minutes left, let's just do a little quick overview on the kicks, and then we'll move on to Is Jang. So again, horse riding stance. So we're gonna do roundhouse kick first, or front kick. Actually, let's do front kick first, and then roundhouse kick, okay? So 5 on each leg, okay? So 5 front kick, 5 front kick on the left leg, 5 roundhouse kick on the right leg, and 5 roundhouse kick on the left leg. So I'm gonna count. Head up, front kick, do it. Set. Net. 다섯. Now switch. Now left leg is now kicking. Head up. Still front kick. Do it. Set. Net. 다섯. Now switch. We're gonna do roundhouse kick now. Head up. Do it. Set. Net. 다섯. Switch. Now left leg roundhouse kick. 하나. 둘. 셋. 넷. 다섯. Okay. Those are the kicks. Now we're going to be learning the Taegeuk Il Jang. So Il Jang, so there's multiple like Taekwondo forms. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8장, up to 8장, and then there's also other forms called Koryo, Taegeuk, but today we're going to be learning the very first and basic Taekwondo form, which is called Il Jang. And we're going to be actually using what we learned today for this form. So how we normally start is 차렷. Let me have it a little, there you go. So 차렷. And then we're gonna move our left foot, okay? And then I'm gonna say 준비. So about like 1.5 foot distance between your legs. Make sure they're facing forward. Now we're gonna have our hands here around our stomach area. Bring it up like as if you're breathing, and then down. And as you bring it up to your chest, make sure you curl into a fist and then twist, and then down, and then here. So again, so 차렷, 준비, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this should be 8 counts, okay? So 차렷, 준비, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that is how you do 준비, okay? Now, the first step of Taegeuk Il Jang is going to be a walking stance. So what a walking stance is, it's similar to the stance we were in before when we were doing our kicks, but it's a little smaller, and also our heels are going to be touching the ground. So here, we're going to twist our left leg to the side, and then our right leg just facing. We're going to also twist it, but like kind of like a 30-degree angle, okay? And then we should be facing on the left side, okay? And then we're going to be doing a lower block. Okay, so in our 준비, 하나. And then 둘, we're going to step forward with our right leg over into another walking stance, and then we're going to be punching. Okay, so we did a lower block. Now we're going to punch. Step forward with our right leg and punch. Okay, now 3, set. We're going to do a lower block on the other side, but we're going to be having our right leg in front of us. So as you twist, you should be kind of doing like a lower block. So here, make sure to bring your right leg over here, and then lower block. Okay? And then step forward, punch. Can't really punch right now because. Okay? So that is up to 4. Let's practice that one more time. Does anybody have questions regarding Taegeuk Il Jang, like so far, what we've learned so far? Okay. Don't think there's any questions, so we'll move on. So we're in 준비. So 하나, and then 둘, 셋, 넷. So that's up to 4. Now we're going to go up to 5, the 5th step of this form. So we're going to use our left leg to move. Bring it all the way back. We're going to be facing the front. Now we want our leg to, this is going to be a kind of like a lunge. So it's like about like 2 feet distance. We're going to bend our like front leg, make sure our back leg is straight. And again, so from here, we did our 2. So we're going to do a lower block. Okay, so we have our punch here. Now we're going to slowly bring it over to the front, have our arm over our shoulder, and lower block. And then we're going to punch. So, and then the 6th step is going to be, we're going to move our right leg over to the front, and then we're going to punch, okay? With our other hand. So this would be our right hand now, okay? So 5 would be front stance, our left hand lower, doing a lower block, right hand on our hip, and then we're going to move forward and punch, okay? Our right leg should be forward, our right hand should be punching, left leg should be back. So that is the 6th step of Il Jang. Okay, yeah. So that is the 6th step. So that is what we're going to be teaching up to for today. If you guys like to learn more about the forms and like different kicks we have, there's plenty of other kicks. We only taught like the very bare basics. So if you guys are interested, you guys can come to our club, UMTKD, University of Michigan Taekwondo Club. Yeah, and you can follow up with me or any of the other panelists, Alicia or Hyung, if you have any interest in joining. We'll be dropping, and also there's also a Taekwondo website that we'll be dropping too in the chat.
Currently, if you're like worried about practices, we're all doing all Zoom practices right now. I am actually the instructor for white belt beginners right now. So I've like every single Monday, we've just been doing an hour of like sort of like what we've been doing today, but going into more detail and like learning more fundamentals and basics. So if you did want to like, if you like liked what you did today and you want to like learn more and get better, you can just like send some, we can go to our website and like just email one of the officers and just like let us know.
Yep, and the website should have most of the information on like what you need to know, and then like there's also gonna be practice schedules there too. So yeah. And I believe I'm done. Caitlin, you can take away. Yep, you can share.